Okay, so I thought the other videos were pretty good at explaining how to figure out wind direction from the wind bar, so I'm going to try to come at it from a slightly different angle. I think maybe the reason some people are getting these questions wrong is because they're not that comfortable with their compass directions. So I'm going to start pretty basic. Basically, any map that you ever get, north is always going to be pointing towards the top of the page. If it doesn't, they have to tell you. There will be a compass somewhere on the page that'll point to where north is. But if there's nothing there, you assume north is pointing towards the top of the page. Any map you ever get in class will probably be north pointing up. So if you know that much, you know where north is. Everybody knows the south is the opposite of north. You could always think of north and south pole. It's the west and the east that people get confused with. Sometimes when people give me directions on the on the street, people will get those confused a lot. So there's a few different ways that you can remember that. One way is to think of the United States. If you have a map next to you too, it helps. I'm going to try to superimpose this here. Let's see if it works. I don't know if you can see this, but you'll see the west coast on the left side there. Okay? So you can think of that, and then you know west is here, and then east is opposite of west, of course. Another way you can remember this is it always spells we if north is pointing up, or you can make yourself a little acronym like not everybody sings well, for example. So let's say you're trying to work out a cyclone problem, and you draw your little fronts and you draw your little arrows and all that stuff, and you're trying to figure out, what the wind direction is over here. Another reason I think people are getting it wrong is really they're just so used to describing wind in terms of where it's going. So if you're the person that wants to say northeast, go ahead and work it out that way, and just remember before you put your answer down to take the direct opposite. What I do sometimes, even though I'm comfortable with these directions, sometimes I'll draw a little compass on the corner of the page, if I'm taking a test or something, just to double, triple check and refer to. So you can go ahead and work out your problem. Let's say you want to say northeast. Here, I'll use the big one. Go ahead and plot that on your compass, and the direct opposite, of course, would be southwest. Okay? Same thing, if it was northwest, moving across would be southeast. So that's just my advice on how to get the wind directions right. Really, I think is just remembering to describe it in terms of where it's coming from. Okay, and I think the arrows throw people off because it's always pointing to where it's going. You can imagine it's an actual arrow and somebody's shooting at you or something. If I drew a little guy here, you want to describe, where is it that person's shooting you from, not where the arrow's going. So that's it. That's how I would try to help somebody remember how to describe wind directions.